All right, let's talk about doing something a little bit more complex. It was Kate that was asking me about doing like a groin vault or an intersection between two vaulted pieces, so you can kind of see here, that there's a wall and then a ceiling, you know, that intersect with each other. And if you come in and do this, you can do it with some voids. So let me go ahead and delete that family and show you what I've got. These are just walls, right? So they're just walls that go up. Um, and they're 11 feet tall, and I'm just going to put some arches on top of them. Let's go to the level 1 plan, and maybe we'll make them even instead of smaller. So how big is that? 7'6". So let's go ahead and make that 7'6", right? And I'll do the same thing here. So they'll be equal. Go back to 3D. And then what I want to do is make two vaults that go across here. You could do it with roofs and the extrude command, but I'll do it this time with architecture component model in place and a ceiling. So let's just do a ceiling and just leave it that. And I'll do an extrusion, and I'm going to set my, I'm going to the set right here. And I'm going to pick a plane, and I'm setting my working plane to this vertical face. And then I'm going to come in and draw a arc. Whoops, up to the point, not to the there. And I could offset that, but I can also just hit escape once and continue the arc command, and it'll find that true arc. And then I'll just finish it off here at the end, right? And then hit check, and it'll extrude that. And then I can just kind of pull it out to here and then use my align command, the AL shortcut, and align those guys, right? And then I guess if I wanted to, let's WTZA, instead of doing a whole nother one, I can just pick this guy, come over here and mirror it, doing a 45 from this point, right? So I got those two, right, and they're intersecting. And if I align with this, that, it'll align that, and align with this, that. Okay, so now what I've got, if I look underneath, is this. So I've kind of got the groin, but I want to get rid of these intersecting pieces so you can just see the groin coming together. So what I need to do is subtract from those guys the void, right? So if I come in here and I go to create extrusion, I'll just go ahead and set, it's already there, so I'll just go ahead and create a void that'll cut those out. So I can actually use my pick line for this. So I'll just pick that, pick that, pick that, and draw a line at the bottom. Right, and then hit the check. It'll extrude that, and all I need to do is sort of pull it through, right, where it's intersecting. So making sure that it's intersecting that whole thing. It doesn't have to be huge, but it does need to, go all the way through this piece, right, is what we want to subtract from. And so once I do that, I should be able to pick this guy and flip it to a void, which you could make it a void to begin with, but then once I make it a void, I can cut from that, and you see it cuts that one piece out. And then I could probably, maybe this would make my life easier, but if I delete that, right, then I've got that guy cut out. No, I still have to do it the other way. So now what I need to do is the same thing, the opposite direction. So create extrusion, and then I'll set this face by a pick plane, right, current, and use the pick line, 1, 2, 3, finish that guy off, 1, 2, big green check to get the extrusion going, and then pull it through, right? So I just want to get it, I mean, it doesn't have to be I don't know, I don't want it like hanging out everywhere, but it has to go all the way through, right? And then what I want to do is let's change that to a void. And then I want to cut from that, right? So now I've got a groin vault kind of going through that guy. So that's a little bit more. So a lot of times it's easier to think in voids as opposed to in creating something. So subtraction versus assembly. Because drawing this would be very difficult. Now you do have some lines in here. If I finish that model, you know, you do have sort of that piece that you can see. Don't know if it'll let you, let's see if it'll let me hide those lines. Let's go to invisible. You know, you can definitely hide these, but yeah, I think it will let me hide them. Yeah, so you could hide them, right, and get rid of them. So you know, in a hidden line you wouldn't see those, right? So now I've got that guy. Okay. When I come back, I'll do like a little coffered or louvered ceiling.